Today I was just thinking about this word action, and action means karma, and action means also to act. So whenever we are acting, we are doing karma. So the question is, I am an actor and I am acting. I am on the field of action, and all day I am doing karma, which is my act. But what is the basis of my karma, my action? So Baba has told us that Baba is the director, and we were all confused actors until Baba came, because we did not have the director with us. We did not even know the script. But now in Sangam Yuga is the age of enlightenment, and I have Baba, the director, and I also know the script. I know the whole script of 5,000 years, and I am sitting with the director. And it is very interesting. Once there was a singer, and that singer was sharing her experience, and she said that she shot a whole duet song without the co-singer. So it was a duet song, and she shot it separately, and the co-singer in the duet, he shot it separately, and then the two were merged. And she said that I was singing that duet alone, so I was just singing my own lines, and then the co-singer did not have the time, so he sang it separately, and then these two were merged. And similarly, when a movie is shot, then many a times, an actor is given only their script, their lines, and they speak their lines. They don't even know the lines of the other, and they are just speaking their lines with conviction, and the other is speaking their lines with conviction, and then that's how a scene is shot. So here also Baba says, why are you so concerned about anything else? I am the director. Every day you are receiving my Shrimat. Shrimat is translated as the elevated directions. So you are receiving the elevated directions of the Supreme Director, and you just act accordingly all day. And you have got nothing to do with the setting you are acting in, or the co-actors in front of you. They don't matter. What matters is you just act according to how the director has asked you to act, and then you will be rewarded for it. That's it. So Baba says, whenever you are on this field of action, whenever you are on this Karam Kshetra, don't think about how the co-actor is acting. Don't think about what is your context. Don't think about what gain and loss you are having. Just do as I say. Just act as I direct. And whatever we Brahmins do, so you see that in this whole world, everybody is doing something, because this is a field of action. So even if somebody is not doing anything, even that is action. Not doing anything is also doing nothing. Okay, so you say doing nothing, which means that's also a doing, that's also an act, and that also has its consequences. So when we are on the field of action, so there is basically nothing like not doing. So you are either doing something, doing nothing, so everything is doing. But what is important is why you are doing what you are doing, and what you are doing, and how you are doing it. So everybody has to act on this field of action, and everybody does act. It's not like there is nobody on this planet who who can survive without acting, because everything you do is an act. Even if you just lazy around, you're sitting on the bed, that's also an act. That also has its consequences. So there was this one person, and he was very sick, and he had lot of physical issues. And when I was talking to him, I asked him, so what did you do? So what is it that caused this? So he said, I didn't do anything, that's why this happened. So I was just I was just on the bed all the time and watching TV and watching internet, and that's how all my body is now giving up on me. So that is also an act. So even when you're not doing anything, that's also an act, and that will also cause trouble. So Baba says that you are on this field of action, and whenever you are on the field of action, you will act. But it's not the action, it is why you are doing what you are doing, and what are you doing, and how you're doing it. That matters. And I gave you all this background because Baba is making a distinction between greed, desire, and Baba says that, many people will tell you that you also have greed. That's why you are greedy for heaven. And that's why you are establishing heaven, because you're greedy for heaven. But Baba says you are not doing anything because of greed. Now, what is greed? So, when you want something because of that thing, so that's greed. So, let's take food. So, everybody will eat. So, a greedy person will also eat, and a yogi will also eat. But when you eat for eating, that's greed. When you eat to take care of the body, that's not greed. So it's very, very simple. So, when you earn for amassing wealth, that's greed. So you are attached to the wealth, you're earning the wealth for the wealth. But if you're earning and you have it in mind that wealth is a resource to be put to good use, that's not greed. Because let's say if somebody says that whenever you are earning it's greed, then what do? Not earn. Then what do you do? What do you do with the time and thought and the energy that you have? So we have certain gifts that we have received. So we have time, thought, energy, money, everything we have. Now, when a soul is on the field of action, when a soul is here on this earth, on this planet, wearing this costume of the body, then the soul has to do karma. Now, when you do karma, then you use your resources, you use your time, thought, energy, wealth, everything you use, your body. Now, when you use it, so using it is inevitable. Yes, you have it free. So, every day you get up, you have 24 hours, don't you have it? So, it's free, it's given to you. You don't earn it. It's free, given to you. But you have to put it to good use. If you don't put it to good use, then you waste it. So either you make use of it or you waste it. There is no third option. You cannot accumulate it and take it with you in the next life. No. So every day you have time, every day you have the capacity to think, every day you have energy. So you have to spend it. You have to put it to use. But when you put it to use, what matters is the intention, the method, and the reason why you're doing it. So these things matter. Let's say in the sannyas marg, people said that karm sannyas. Karm sannyas means you are not doing anything, you have left karma. But that is not a possibility on Karam Kshetra. So Baba today says that if somebody tells you that you have the greed for heaven, then you have to tell them that we don't desire heaven. Yes, we don't desire heaven. We are working to make this world a better place. And why are we working to make the world a better place? Because that is the call of time, that is Baba's Srimad. Yes, so Baba has given us the direction. So I am an actor, I am a director's actor, and Baba has given the Srimad that you create a better world. So we are doing that. And when you create a better world, who will rule in it? Obviously you will rule in it. So according to the law says the creator will be the benefiter. So the one who creates will be the one who benefits first. So according to the law, we will go and rule in heaven. But it's not the desire for heaven that is motivating our actions to create heaven. Yes, because when we have found Baba, there is no other desire. So we are not creating heaven because of the desire for heaven. We are doing it on Srimad. We are doing it because this is the call of time, because the whole world is suffering. So somebody has to do it. And then somebody has to rule there. So who will rule there? The one who creates it. So the basic learning that we have to receive from this teaching that Baba is giving is actions need not be motivated by greed and desire. And greed and desire does not ensure result. So there is a very faulty belief system in humans that if you give up greed and desire, then probably you will give up your fortune. And that is why people are not willing to give up greed and desire. But Baba says, fortune is created through karma. When you do good karma, you receive a great fortune. And karma, in order to do good karma, your motivation need not be greed and desire. Your motivation can be Baba's Srimad. So when you do good karma motivated by Baba's Srimad, then you receive the best outcome. But that doesn't mean that your karma is motivated by greed and desire. Yes, so do you understand the difference? Because apparently it will look like apparently it is very difficult to discern what's going on where. So if somebody is motivated by greed and desire, they will also earn money. And somebody not motivated by greed and desire, if they do good karma, they will also have enough resources. But then how do you know whether there is greed or desire or not? So if the resources that one is earning are put to good use, then those resources are earned on Baba's Srimad. And if those resources are something which are amassed and they are just kept in treasury boxes and not used at all, and the person is just happy and it's feeding their ego that I have so much, that is karma which is motivated by greed and desire. Because greed and desire will make you attached to the thing, to the object of your desire. But when you're doing the same thing on Baba's Srimad, then also results will come. You will have a lot at your disposal, lot of your resources, lot of everything at your disposal. But how you use it is the difference. And similarly, Baba says, when you create heaven, you will rule in heaven. But it's not heaven that is in your buddhi, it is Baba that is in your buddhi. So you are not creating heaven for heaven, but you're creating heaven because that is what is the call of time, that is what is Baba's Srimad. So this is something that Baba is explaining today, and Baba is saying that you look around in the world around you, everybody is suffering and is in sorrow, and it is your duty to liberate all these souls and take them home. And only when you go to heaven, these souls will go home. And souls have been calling out for 2500 years. Yes, take us home, liberate us. And it is that calling which makes you make the effort to create heaven. So Baba says, you do it because this is the call of time. This is what every soul needs, and this is what the world needs right now. So you take the responsibility for it. So are you taking the responsibility for it? This is the question you have to ask. Because Baba says that Brahmin children are responsible for creating the new world through their new consciousness, new karma, and through their excuse me, through their dharana of purity. So Baba has given us the duty, the responsibility to create a pure world by being pure. But are we doing it? Because you see, today Baba is talking about Narad, and Baba says that Narad wanted to marry Sri Lakshmi, and then he was asked, go and look at your face. So Baba says, are you looking at your face? So what is the face? So Baba says, are you looking at your actions? And sometimes Brahma Kumars, Kumaris also, they are also listening to the Murli and maybe meditating also or not, I don't know, but whatever we are doing. But then sometimes we don't look at our actions. So Baba today says that in the new world there is no lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed. So if you have desires here, if your buddhi is still stuck in material resources, if there is greed, if there is lust, there is thought and there is drishti on body, then, and if there is violence, if there is anger, even if it is in the mind, then how will you go to Satyug? And how will you create Satyug? So Baba says that Brahmins, in their state of being pure, they are changing the atmosphere around themselves. And do you know that this word atmosphere is a very beautiful word? Because if you look at the word atmosphere, it is Atma ka sphere. So there is the soul and the sphere that you create around you through your being who you are. That's your atmosphere. And Baba says that it is by your purity, by your being of purity, you have to change the world into a pure world. And we Brahmins, we have to look into our actions and we have to think about whether we are really creating that world. Because today Baba is giving the example of Vikari sannyasis. So not even sannyasis, Vikari gurus. So these days you see that there are so many gurus who are reading the Gita, both male and female. So you must be watching on television. There are so many women and men gurus who are wearing robes or like a sannyasi, and they are reciting some bhajans, or they are reading some scriptures, or they are sharing some stories from the scriptures, and everybody is holding them in great regard. But what is great about it? Those sannyas, those gurus, or everybody that you see in that robe is engaging in lust. So they are all married, and not only married, but they are in a lustful relationship, because that there it is not about observing celibacy in marriage. That's not the contract there. It's a relationship where lust is involved. And then when there is lust, you can obviously understand that there are other vices, because in the Gita itself it is written Kameshu Krodeshu. So where there is lust, anger will not be far away, and where there is lust and anger, other vices will not be far away. And I'll tell you one thing. So there was this one person, one brother, and he had come for the course, and he started asking me that, why do you say that wherever there is lust, there will be anger? I am not an angry person, but I engage in lust. So what is the problem? And I am married, and according to my dharma as a married person, I am observing that dharma and I am engaging in lust, but there is no anger. So I told him, okay, let's just picture a scenario where your wife is not giving you any attention and she is giving attention to another man. Then what will you do? Then instantly he said, I would go and slap my wife. So I said, but you said you have no anger, so why would you do that? So he said, no, but that's a different scene. So I said, this is what we are talking about. If you have lust, you cannot not have anger, because Wherever there is lust, you are a slave of another person's body. You are a slave of your own sensual desires. And whenever there is something not going favorable in the fulfillment of those desires, then you will get angry, you will feel sorrow, you will feel pain. There will be so many emotions, negative emotions, which will come into play instantly. So, how can you say that you can have lust and no anger or no attachment or no sorrow? That's not possible. So, if somebody is an object of your sensual desire and the fulfillment of that sensual desire is imperative to your condition of happiness, then anything which is an obstruction in that fulfillment will take away your sorrow, will take away your happiness, will give you a lot of pain, will enrage you. So these are the things which are bound to happen. So Baba also today says that you see that people are engaging in vices, and then just because of a costume they call themselves a guru. So is it the same with you also? Are you also just wearing a badge or a white cloth and just thinking that, I'm Baba's child? Or are you looking deep inside? Because you see, the world cannot see beyond clothes. So the world doesn't know who you are on the inside, but you know. And Baba is making so much effort on us. So what is my purity? What is my state of purity? Is my thought, word, and action that pure? So, is every thought I take, every word I speak, every act I do according to Srimad? Baba says you have to check yourself, because it is what is deep inside which makes the difference. So, or is it still that, all our actions are motivated by 5 vices? So, so do you know that apparently all good actions can also be motivated by vices? So I remember there was this one brother, and he said that, Didi, I want this colleague of mine to undertake the course. And I said, why do you want this particular colleague to undertake the course? So she was a female colleague, and this brother was a brother. So I asked him that question, and then he said, Didi, you don't understand. This is the only colleague who agreed. So whether that's a male or a female, how does it matter? And you have to stop overthinking, and you have to give her the course, and there is purity in my mind, and you have to trust it. So I said, okay, I just asked you a simple question, it's okay. Then I gave her the course, and then after the course he got married to her. And then he told me that, Didi, she's a very nice person, and now she has also undertaken the course. So he got married to her, and of course Baba has given us the part of Sakshi Drashta, so what could we do? But the thing is, you see, all apparently good actions can be motivated by vices. So it may look like, so if somebody is giving somebody the course, or taking the effort to bring somebody to know Baba, so it may stem from a place of benevolence, it may also stem from a place of vice. So it is you who has to understand, who has to check where is your action coming from. So you can do everything. So these vices are very just like God is, Baba is Gupta, you can't see Baba. These vices are also not apparent. Only you know that, you know your motivation, nobody else knows. So Baba says you have to sit and think deeply, check deeply. What is your motivation? Is there a vice which is motivating your actions, or is there are your are your actions motivated by Srimad? So this is something, and Baba says, don't be Narad. And Narad is a very good example, because Narad is somebody who is dressed like a perfect Brahmin and always saying Narayan, Narayan, and then all he does is idhar ki udhar. Yes, he is just into gossiping and entertainment through gossip. That's what he's doing. But Baba says, don't be Narad. So this is a warning that Baba is giving today, and Baba is also underlining the importance of intention. So it is intention, the seed, which is very important to check, because just from the action you cannot know whether it's good karma, bad karma, what. But when you check the intention, what is your karma motivated by? Is it motivated by Baba's Srimad, or is it motivated by your desire for name, fame, sensual pleasure, property, money, whatever? So that has to be checked. And there is only one indicator which can be used to check it, which is how are you using it? So are you using your senses, your money, your relationships, everything for seva, or are you attached to them and you have ownership over it, and you are trying to take pleasure from a sense of attainment, or a sense of using it for your own advantage? So that is something that needs to be checked, and the only indicator is the use you put it to. If you are misusing it, if you are misusing your body for your own sensual pleasure, if you are taking if you are feeling a sense of achievement, attainment through your relationships or through what you have earned, then that is something which you are doing against Srimad and motivated by vices, and that is bound to make you suffer in the long run, because all of it is perishable. And if you have attachment to the money you have earned, and you're not putting it to seva, putting it to use in seva, then in the final moments that money is going to cause you a lot of sorrow. So this is why, and everything is about the final destination. So this is something that needs to be underlined. And then Baba today is warning the children, because you see sometimes, so Baba is today giving a very good example, that there was an Agyani soul who said that God is almighty and he is the one who can do everything, and there was a child of Baba who said, no, a person can give someone happiness and a person does everything, so it is a human who does everything. So Baba says, no, you have to tell everybody that without Baba you cannot give anybody happiness. Now this thing is a very important subject to understand, because this clarity between karma and God. So you cannot get without doing karma. You cannot get anything without doing the karma for it. But without Baba, you don't know how to do karma, because you don't have the knowledge of karma. You don't have the knowledge of what is good karma, bad karma. You don't have the knowledge of vices and virtues. And without Baba, you don't even have the power to do good karma, because the power comes from following Baba's direction of remembrance and purity. So Baba says, without Baba, a soul doesn't know how to do good karma, or a soul doesn't have the power to do good karma. So obviously without Baba you cannot do good karma, and happiness is the product of good karma. So you cannot have happiness without good karma. But if you don't know Baba, if you don't have access to Baba's Murli, then you can never do good karma, because you don't even know the difference between pure karma, impure karma, neutral karma, and let alone the power which Baba gives us through yoga and when we follow Baba's Shrimat of purity. So Baba says that you have to make this very clear, because you know what happens? There is a very good saying that when the child grows up, the mother is forgotten. So, you know, the child receives everything through the mother or through the parent. But when the child grows up, every child in his lifetime once tells his parents, "What have you done? I've done everything myself." So, this is what, you know. So, Baba also, now you see, a physical parent who is physically sustaining. So, you know, they are cooking, feeding, earning, clothing, they are doing so much physically. And still, when the child grows up, he starts asking, "What have you done for me?" So, think about our spiritual parent Baba. So, he is doing everything incognito. So, he is giving us the knowledge, purity, power, love, understanding, so much, but he is not doing. So, you need to exercise your intellect to stay in its awareness. Otherwise, what happens is, as we grow, we forget what Baba is giving us, and we start thinking that anyways it is the soul who is doing everything. But who taught the soul? Who gave the soul the power to do it? So we start forgetting that. So Baba says that don't forget the parent as you grow up, and you have to remember that without the source there cannot be happiness, because without Baba nobody can give you the direction or the strength to do good karma, and where there is no good karma there cannot be happiness. And I remember there was this one sister, and when she came into Gyan, every day she used to tell me, "Baba changed my life, Baba changed my life." And suddenly after 2 years in Gyan, she said, "Didi, I have one question. We are doing everything. What is Baba doing?" So I'm getting up in the morning, I'm eating pure food, I'm meditating, I'm purifying the world. What is Baba doing? so, so this is something that we lose sight of as we grow up. So Baba says, this is why Baba always says, don't forget your childhood, and always remember that you cannot grow up without becoming a child. So every child has to be taught to be a child first. Every child has to be connected to Baba first, so that they can learn and so that they can understand and have the power to make themselves happy and create a happier world. Okay, Om Shanti. Let's thank Baba for some time.